You might have noticed recently that your emotions feel like they're on a roller coaster. One moment you're floating in bliss, the next you're processing some deep shadow work that seems to come out of nowhere. I want you to know you're not alone. And the roller coaster is speeding up, not slowing down. So let's journey into the current phase of expanding consciousness, where the Lavender Dragons of unconditional love and infinite wisdom give us the top 5 shifts into unconditional love and how to step off the roller coaster and embrace the timelessness and expand into greater frequencies of unconditional love. Welcome to your multidimensional journey. I'm Tracy Canberra, and the Lavender Dragons that have been hanging with me for a few days showed me that what we're experiencing collectively is a profound shift into timelessness. That space beyond the linear constructs we've been taught are real when we incarnated and stepped through the veil. In timelessness, everything exists simultaneously. Past, present, future, all happening in the eternal now, just like quote unquote past lives. I always say it's not past, present, future, it's kitchen, living room, dining room. And we're starting to see that more and more. So, as we begin to embody this new awareness, we naturally experience what feels like a pendulum swing of emotions and thoughts throughout our day, every day. Let me paint a picture of what might be happening in your experience lately. You wake up feeling connected to source, maybe even communicating with your angels, guides, or dragons, bringing so much inspiration and joy. Then by lunchtime, you're processing childhood wounds that suddenly feel present and alive. Before dinner, you might find yourself in a creative flow state, only to end your day questioning your entire life path, getting all existential. Or all of that could happen before breakfast. That's what I'm finding some days lately. So if that sounds familiar or resonates with you and you're kind of sick of it, me too. But the Lavender Dragons want you to know that the pendulum swing isn't a sign that you're doing anything wrong or that you're unstable, mentally or emotionally. So get it out of your head now. It's quite the opposite. The pendulum swing is evidence that you're shedding the 3D constraints of linear time and embracing the multidimensional beingness that you truly are. In timelessness, all aspects of yourself exist simultaneously. The child who experienced hurt, the healer who knows how to mend those wounds, the wise elder you're becoming, no matter your earth age, and the divine spark within you that is you, that has always been whole and complete. They're all present right now. This is how it's explained to me and my clients in a soul coaching session, and I find this powerfully supportive in understanding our transition to multidimensionality. Souls explain so much more in a session. So click on the link in the description or show notes to see much more of what your soul assists you with in a session with me. Okay, this is the visualization that souls always give in sessions. Imagine you've been looking at your life through a window and the curtains are closed to just 1 inch. You can only see through a 1 inch gap and you cannot open them more. So you're only seeing like one moment at a time. Prior to now, your guides or angels or dragons or soul, your peeps, your spirit team would open the curtains a bit more every time you asked them for advice, every time you stepped into more intuition. But now, suddenly the curtains are open so much more and you're seeing the entire panoramic view. Sometimes just for a moment, sometimes for minutes, or for some of you, even hours at a time. Of course, that would feel overwhelming. Of course, it would create what seems like emotional chaos. Your system is adjusting to perceiving and processing much more information than before, and you didn't actively ask for it. It's just happening to you. Well, that was a human statement. It's happening for you. Your soul did contract the opening, believing you to be ready, and your spirit team is there to assist you with everything that comes up when you have a burst of timelessness or the momentary expanded awareness in a pendulum swing. The key is to recognize these swings not as something to fix, but as evidence of your expanding consciousness. So when you feel yourself moving rapidly between emotional states, try taking a deep breath and saying, I see you, timelessness. I get you. I'm expanding beyond linear perception. Okay, let's go. Yeah, I'm ready to drop this linear game. Yep, I'm all about multidimensionality. Pick a phrase, because these phrases can help you ride the waves with more grace and even a sense of adventure. Like I'm always told, sometimes you ride the wave, sometimes the wave crushes you. And now is time for us to ride the waves. At the core of these waves of timelessness is the profound truth that we are moving into a state of unconditional love. Not the greeting card version of love, but the raw, powerful force that creates universes. Unconditional love doesn't judge, doesn't demand, doesn't expect. It simply is. And as we move further into this new paradigm, our heart chakras are undergoing a tremendous expansion. For those of you familiar with heart math, you know that the heart is a supercomputer of the body, not the brain. Our heart shares the connection point to higher wisdom with the crown and to a degree with the third eye chakra. And heart math has done the scientific studies that show the heart generates an electromagnetic field far more powerful than that of the brain, as well as the heart fires before the brain. Yes, the heart is the boss, not the brain, not the ego mind. Okay, science class over. Let's move to metaphysics. The Lavender Dragon energy is particularly active right now in supporting our collective heart expansion into unconditional love. If you're not familiar with dragon energy or haven't yet worked with the dragons, and you will be, picture them as conscious streams of energy, wisdom, and light that embody specific qualities and assist humanity during times of quantum leaps, times of mass evolution. The Lavender Dragons help dissolve the barriers we built around our hearts, and they support us in remembering our true nature as beings of infinite love residing in the timelessness of the now. I'm going to channel a message from the Lavender Dragons of Unconditional Love and Infinite Wisdom. But first, they gave me the top 5 significant shifts that you'll likely notice as your heart chakra expands as we're journeying into this new state of timelessness and unconditional love. These are the major signs and signals to look for that show that your heart expansion as well as your intuitive abilities are coming online. Before we get to the list, I want to remind you, if you want a boost, getting past your patterns, programming, or blockages, or simply want to know who your guides and angels are, which dragons you're working with, book a soul coaching session with me, and we'll dive into all of that and more. The link is down below in the description or show notes. Back to the top 5 shifts into timelessness and unconditional love from the Lavender Dragons. The first sign is an increasing ability to hold paradox, meaning you'll find yourself able to perceive contradictory truths simultaneously without needing to choose one over the other. For example, you might fully acknowledge the pain and suffering in the world while simultaneously experiencing profound joy and peace within yourself. Now, this isn't denial or spiritual bypassing. It's the heart's capacity to hold the fullness of existence without fragmenting it into either or thinking, which is 3D. It is dualistic, it is polarized. Multidimensionality is either and. So when you notice yourself saying yes and instead of either or, celebrate. Your heart is expanding beyond the 3D limitations of dualistic perception. Okay, sign number 2, the spontaneous feelings of connection with strangers. You could be standing in line at the grocery store and suddenly feel a wave of love for the cashier, recognizing their divine essence beyond their human story. Or maybe you'll find yourself moved to tears by the resilience of a plant growing through concrete. These moments of unexpected connection show that your heart is beginning to perceive the underlying unity of all life. Now, that accounts for some of the sadness and crying and overwhelm that some of us have been feeling come and go so much lately. And don't be surprised if you suddenly feel called to smile at strangers more, or engage in small acts of kindness without any particular reason, or you're moved to a state of tears over the smallest thing of beauty or pain. It's just your heart chakra expressing a heightened state of interconnectedness. The third sign of heart chakra expansion is a shift in how you experience criticism and praise. This is a good one. As your heart opens, you'll notice that both positive and negative judgments from others impact you less intensely. You'll still hear the feedback, but it doesn't define you or dramatically alter how you feel about yourself. This doesn't mean that you become aloof or unresponsive, and it doesn't mean you're never triggered again. But instead, you develop what I like to call compassionate discernment, the ability to listen openly while remaining centered in your own truth. You could notice yourself thinking, that's an interesting perspective, rather than immediately absorbing others' views as truth or rejecting them outright, or again, getting triggered. One thing I practice is the okay. So when someone shares something that I don't resonate with, I don't engage. I just say, okay, and I keep flowing. It's their story. I let them have it as I move down my own ascension path. And if I do fall off that bike, get triggered, react, I just laugh at myself and get back on the bike, get back into flow and back into okay. Which brings us to the fourth sign, which is really a favorite, an increasing sense of humor about yourself and life. As your heart expands, you'll find yourself laughing more readily at your own humanity. The same patterns that once caused shame now might bring a chuckle of recognition. There I go again. Or, yep, I did that. It becomes your mantra rather than harsh self-criticism. This lightness doesn't mean you don't take your growth seriously. No, it reflects a deeper understanding that your essence remains perfectly whole, even as your human self continues to learn and evolve. Laughter becomes a form of self-love rather than self-deprecation. Let me say it this way. Guilt, shame, self-judgment, and self-criticism not only do not serve you, the energy for them is over. We're beyond that. It is time to move into self-love and faith, trust, and belief in yourself. Laughter helps greatly in that shift. The last major sign of heart chakra expansion into timelessness and unconditional love, number 5, is a natural shift towards generosity that feels effortless. Now, many of us healers are far more comfortable giving than receiving. Maybe it's from our persecution wounds or inner child trauma, or that we've been in this environment of unbalanced, dominant masculine energy for, centuries or millennia. But as you move into multidimensionality, into 5D and beyond, you'll find yourself giving, whether it's time, resources, attention, or energy, from a place of abundance rather than obligation or fear or validation or any number of 3D reasons. This multidimensional giving does not deplete you because it flows from the recognition that love is not a finite resource, but an infinite wellspring within you. The act of giving itself becomes fulfilling in a way that will surprise you at first as you begin to see how you are so overflowing with source energy that you simply spill it over onto others. Giving becomes an act of unity consciousness. Okay, those are the 5 tips. Now let's tune into the Lavender Dragons and see what they have for us. Yes, dearest humans, we are here. The Lavender Dragons of unconditional love and infinite wisdom. You have called us forth, and you're calling out for love and support during this grand transition period on your planet. Know that we surround you in beautiful lavender frequency, putting you in a sphere of open love and multidimensional access. Simply call upon us, and we create the sphere around you. The love that we send through this sphere, that love not only opens your heart, but it connects your heart to your intuition, up to your crown chakra, and down through your root chakra, through your legs, into Gaia herself. This unconditional love transforms your human heart into the heart of your light human, your multidimensional self. And as you accept this unconditional love and wisdom, you blast it out to other humans, allowing them to connect, to open, to call in higher levels of love. You are changing, dearest ones. You are becoming light beings capable of so much more love and intuition than you can ever imagine. Beings of unconditional compassion and gratitude, peace and loving kindness. When you find yourself, dearest ones, in a difficult situation or environment, or having difficult feelings or thoughts, call in the Lavender Dragons. We will create the sphere of unconditional love, and that love will dissolve the difficulties and rebalance you into expanded self-love and expanded love of others. We are always here with you, for you have called us in. Ask for the sphere of unconditional love, and it is yours. Thank you, Lavender Dragons. Thank you for that beautiful sphere of unconditional love exercise you gave us. And there's another exercise they showed me the other night that helps us to navigate our journey into timelessness and unconditional love. Each morning, place your hands over your heart and say something like, I welcome the energy of unconditional love into my heart today. I am open to expanding beyond time, expanding into the fullness of unconditional love. Then, throughout your day, when you notice the pendulum swings of emotions or thoughts, place one hand on your heart and take 3 deep breaths. Then think of something that makes you smile, something that lights you up. This is a simple heart math exercise that helps you anchor into your heart's wisdom rather than getting caught up in the ego mind's attempt to control or understand. The pendulum will continue to swing. That's part of being human, and it's part of our ascension journey. And the phase of time, phasing out, it's not over yet. The difference is that with an expanded heart, you develop the capacity to embrace all of the swings with presence, awareness, love, and compassion. Beautiful souls, I want to acknowledge the courage in you it takes to open your heart in a world that often rewards guarding your heart, protecting yourself. And remember, the Lavender Dragon energy of unconditional love and infinite wisdom is always supporting you. Each time you choose love over fear, compassion over judgment, connection over separation, you strengthen not only your own energy field, but also humanity's field. And if you'd like deeper support connecting with the Lavender Dragons or any of the dragons or angels or guides that are assisting you, book a soul coaching session with me. I left the link down below. I'd love to hear about your experiences with these heart openings and the pendulum swings. Share your journey with our YouTube community in the comments. And thank you so much for liking and for sharing my podcast with others that you sense it would help. Your community support is what keeps me making these episodes. Until next time, may you embrace the timeless now with an open heart. And may you recognize the unconditional love that you are and have always been.